Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am JayLee. This is JLeesCorner, and this is another review. Okay, if you have not done so already, please take a moment to subscribe to my. I'm not doing the quiet thing to close it. Subscribe to my channel and become a whole JayBird. Dun dun. All that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? Do not forget to also like this video, please. Thank you. Just hit the like button. It's very, very simple. Hit the like button, okay? Comment in the comment section below. You can also share this video by hitting the share button. You share it to your Twitter, to your Facebook or whatever. That is also greatly appreciated. To say, hey, check out JayLee. She's amazing. Just do that. I'll be forgetting. Hit the notification bell to let you know when I have the videos up. And of course, follow me on IG and on Twitter at J_Lees_Corner. It's up around my head more than likely. Okay, now first things first. I'm kind of happy this show was over. It was 20 episodes. Some of it I was just like, okay, where's it going or whatever. But I'm happy it's over. I really can't wait for the 2-hour before the 90 days, whichever one's why I want to come on Sundays. Girl, they are all on my nerves. But you know what I'm saying? Again, this season finale is really cool. So, first up, we have Tiffany and Ronald. And, theirs is really, really easy. You know what I'm saying? She told him last episode, I'm going back to America. Okay, I'm going back home because I don't want to have a baby here because you broke and we can't afford no good hospital. And, you know what I'm saying? I ain't got no choice. I want to have my baby in a good hospital. I feel like that's a smart decision. Another smart decision was to not get pregnant so fast. Okay? The first thing you should have done was get established. Okay? That man was barely working and you already knocked up. Girl, I cannot do that. Anyway, she brings up how she's worried that once she leaves, that it will make him have a relapse. He may start, he'll be so sad or whatever. And it can trigger him to go back to his old ways. Again, that's why you should never do anything major when a person is freshly out of any kind of rehab. Because y'all should not have gotten freshly married. Y'all should not have gotten freshly pregnant. And you damn sure should not freshly be going home. Okay, those are all trigger things that can go on his head. But I digress. So they do have, his sober coach or the person who was dealing with in the facility or whatever come by to chit chat. You know what I'm saying? He basically said, we have to just take it step by step, work on trust. You know what I'm saying? It was real generic. Like, we have to just have a little plan or whatever. I'm looking like, get that man a chance to be normal. Get that man a chance to prove himself. Stop talking his relapse into existence. Okay? Anyway, I'm like, they go to the airport. The son, Daniel, was crying his eyes out. I don't want to leave. But you said you didn't like it here. But he don't want to leave. He don't want to stay. He feel like, okay, we leave, Ronald can come with us. He can't because he's a burglar. We don't like burglars over here, okay? So they have to wait to see if they can even get him a visa to come to these United States, okay? So, but I also like this is what happens when you put your child in a situation to where they experience something and then they have to change back to something else. He was sad. I'm going to miss you, Dad. I'm with my boy, my son. He's going to miss you, too. It was very, very emotional. You know what I'm saying? It was very, very sad. But I feel like, she came there 3 months ago to marry that man fresh out of the rehab. And she's going back home pregnant. She's 3 months pregnant. I don't think she made wise decisions. Not saying that their daughter was a bad decision. But I feel like y'all moved too fast. You want to marry him? Cool. Fine. But you brought a hold on the baby into this who now has to live without their father. Anyway, so she went back home. And they cried all the way to the airport. Crying, tears all over the place, okay? He then ran behind a little line. Oh, one more hug. Now, here he would have got tackled. He didn't get tackled there. And that's really what it was. I'm willing to see what the reunion says. What the reunion shows us that he ain't here. Because he not at the reunion. He's on the little television thing. So we will see what's going to happen with that. Corey and Evelyn. So Corey has been back there in Ecuador for a week. We know he left to go home to be with his family because his father passed away. So he's been back for a week. He says him and Evelyn are closer than ever, okay? They realize, with the death of his father, how precious life is, how much they care for one another. So now he says he wants to propose to her. And he goes to her father to ask the father for her hand in marriage. And now, first of all, the father don't speak much English and he don't speak much Spanish or whatever. And so the dialect was very, very funny, okay? But the daddy then says, since you're here, can you help me dig this path for cars that come by? They want to mess this pipe up. So I'm like, okay, so they digging. And I think Court was like, I didn't come here to dig no ditch. And so I'm kind of asked him what I wanted to ask him. So he couldn't say it in Spanish because, he doesn't speak the language too well. So is it Portuguese? I think it's Spanish. I don't know, the other language, okay? And so he ended up having to use the app because he couldn't properly explain it to the daddy. And he like, I love your daughter. I wanted to ask for her in the marriage. He said, oh, yeah, sure. I have no issue. So you have my permission or whatever. I have no problem with y'all. You propose to her. He like, the issue gonna be Evelyn. Evelyn is the one who will have a problem with it and who you need to convince to marry you, not me. And I say that's true because Evelyn has consistently said she does not want to get married, okay? She does not want to be married. Anyway, Corey then decided, because the daddy said, okay, he gonna propose. Okay? So, it's like, okay. So he blindfolds her. They both dress up in their best clothes that they can wear. Okay, she's in sneakers and a dress because of course you can't have sandals on that dirt. So they get in a little putt car and she's blindfolded and everything. He said, "Where are we going?" Like it's a surprise. So he takes her to. She was still trying to guess it or whatever, but we didn't know what it was. So he took her to do a hot air balloon ride. And she said, "Oh my God, I've never even seen a hot air balloon. Oh my God." She then says, "Oh, now I'm nervous because," she said, "things in Ecuador are always sketchy. And, for it to be a hot air balloon to be up in the air, if they fall, they're going to die." I said, well, okay. Don't go up there. But they go up in a hot air balloon or whatever. So he had a sign on the ground, but kind of, far enough away for her to not see it walking up, but she's been able to see it from up in the sky. And so, she take the blindfold off, whatever. They get on the hot air balloon, lay up in the air. It's like, oh my God! So she loved it. It was amazing. They was kissing and hugging and kissing and everything or whatever. And he like, okay, can you see that sign over there? And she was like, I see my name and I see some hearts, but that's really it. He then realized he put it too far away where she could not read it up in the air. Okay, so they have to come down from the hot air balloon, and then they just walk over so that they can read the sign. And it said, "Will you marry me?" in Spanish. And then, so he then said, "Cover your eyes," so that she wouldn't see it walking up. And so she got there, and she reads it, and she turned around, and he's on bended knee. And then she was like, "Are you seriously doing this right now? Are you serious?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm not, girl. He on his knees with a ring in his hand. What else do you think you're doing? It's one thing or whatever." So he said, he says, "I had to try to propose to you because this is really what I want to do." Said, "Do you want to marry me?" That's a huge question. It is. But it usually is only one or two answers, okay? It's not like it's not really too much of a multiple choice. It's either yes or no. Not even really a maybe. Saying? He says like, well, like, do you want to marry? Like, if you don't, it's okay or whatever. But I wish you would want to because I want to be with you forever. So do you want to marry me? And she was like, oh, yes, I will. I'll marry you, whatever. I want to spend the rest of my life with you. And I'm looking like, since when? Since today? Since just now? Since that moment? I'm like, was the ring so nice? She thought I can pawn that and get a good goat. Like, what made her say yes in that moment? Because she went from saying, she was questioned, are you serious? Are you sure? I don't know. The same saying, oh, yes, I'll marry you. I want to marry you. I want to spend the rest of my life with him. With him or his money. I don't know. Anyway, but in her confession, she says how, saying yes to the engagement doesn't mean that we're getting married soon. Meaning, I'm going to let him think we get married and then we might not. Okay? Or we can be engaged for a few years and then maybe not no more. But I mean, just what she was saying and saying in her confession, look like it's two different things. Like, she confuses me. It was kind of crazy. She brings up how, she said, I realize I'm a little bit tougher, I'm a little bit harder and more mean, than other people. She's like, but that doesn't mean I don't love him. And I'm like, but But you said you didn't want to marry, girl. I don't know. Anyway, he then takes her off to another surprise. He blindfolds her again. And he takes her to a candlelit dinner on the beach. Okay, with a private chef to cook for them. And then he has fireworks going off and fireworks shaped like hearts. He planned it all. And I feel like she said yes because he did it here. You know what I'm saying? I can't say nothing to this. And again, we not gonna get married before he leaves. We gonna just be engaged. Plays him like a fiddle, like a whole little fiddle. And now the whole thing, but it was a really romantic. It was really romantic. It really, 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 really was. And she was looking at him all romantic, like, oh my god, look at the fireworks, look at the rain, look at the helicopter, not helicopter, the hot air balloon. Oh my god, look at the food, the stuff. She looked like, oh my god, I can't believe he did all this for me. But Corey loves you, fool. Loves you, fool. So Devin and Jihoon, we know in the last episode, legally got married. Yeah, they went down to the courthouse and they are legally husband and wife, and she's officially been there for 3 weeks now. And his family wants them to have a traditional Korean wedding with all the garb and all that stuff or whatever. So it's his parents, like two of his aunts, and then I don't know who the other people were, but it was like maybe two other people there or whatever. And, the aunts say how, he's the first person to marry a foreigner. Like, no one else in the family has ever, married a foreigner. So, they're like, this is interesting. I can't believe it. They also, and she looks Korean. I say, she don't look Korean. Devin does not look Korean. That's her makeup. Her eye makeup makes her look Korean. When she looks regular, she's not Korean. She just isn't that or whatever. So, they then bring up how great she looks in the traditional garb or whatever. So this is her and him dressed up. They all loved how she looked. He said he picked a really great person. He picked really great because of how good she looks in the clothes that they had to wear for the ceremony or whatever. Now she kept saying how her arms, she was tired of holding that thing up because she kept having to hold her arms like that, and she was tired. Okay, her arms are like above her boobs. Okay, so yeah, she said she was tired of doing that shit. Anyway, but while she was getting dressed and he was getting dressed, his family is talking to her, but in Korean. She don't speak the language. I'm like, girl, you should always have the translation app with you at all times. Okay, at all times. And she said, I was sitting here, I feel in this foreign place, whatever, in these foreign clothes, and that his family's talking to me, and I don't speak, and I have no idea what they're saying to me. I don't know. I do not speak the language. They can be dogging me, and I would not have any idea. She's like, I realized, like, what did I get myself into? You just realized that just now? Okay. Anyway, she brings up how saying, because I don't know what they're saying, like, I don't feel like this is my wedding. Because they're just kind of leading her, like, okay, bend, okay, bow, okay, get down, okay, get back up, okay, spin around on two toes, and then, what I'm saying, drop into a split. So, again, they was just kind of telling her, just like moving her around or whatever. And Jihoon, of course, knew what to do or whatever because he speaks the language. But again, it's like, it doesn't feel like my wedding. I'm like, it kind of was, if you ask me. Anyway, so, but as they're leading her around or whatever, she starts to have a little bit more fun. At one point, he put some like raisin or beet or something in his mouth that she then has to put her, like, bite from his mouth, and it has a seed in it. And whichever one of them catches the seed in their mouth means that they rule the house. And he called it and said, "You my slave." And I was like, first of all, don't do that, brother. Don't do that at all. Anyway, but then the part comes, but he has to carry her around the house, piggyback, and depending on how big of steps he take or something will determine if they're gonna be in a small house or big house. They in a small house now. So my question would have been, did your parents do the small steps, and is that why their house so small? Because if they got one with big steps, they lied because their house is very, very small. But I digress. But she said it got fun after that or whatever. They also had to like hold a piece of cloth between them, and his parents had to like toss like some nuts or some berries. I don't know what it was, whatever. One thing was for boys, the other was about girls getting nuts and berries. And they had to toss it on the cloth held between them, and however many made it into the cloth will be how many kids they have. And then she said, "Don't catch any. I don't want more kids." And he was like, "Oh no, what?" So the daddy was like, "I want more and more and more." And I think it was like five. It was like three boys and like two girls. Meaning we have like a total of 7 kids. And she said, I don't want more kids. It seemed I guess they didn't have that conversation because the Ji-Hoon parents like, we want more grandchildren, and she keeps saying, I don't want more kids. I feel like no matter what, she don't get pregnant again because she seems like a person who was irresponsible with birth control. No tea, no shade, but it is what it is. Anyway, again, she starts to have fun and she enjoys it or whatever, and they finish it out. And then, towards the end, when he keeps bringing up how, tonight will be our official wedding night. So, that means, making babies. She said, no, we're not no more babies. He said, okay, well then I'll start wearing condoms now. I'm like, okay. She brings up how she's happy that she married him. He's the love of he's the love of her life, and she's happy that they're together, whatever. Her son has a father. You know what I'm saying? She said, and she believed that he would step up to take care of them as a family, because if he does not, she would have to leave. And I said, well, I guess so. Girl, foolishness. And last but not least, Jenny and Submit. Jenny is packing to leave. She's packing to go back to America because Submit has a wife. And so they can't get married, and her visa is expiring. So it's been a week since she found out that he had a wife. Okay, and so I thought I would never leave here. I thought I would be here forever, whatever. I thought I was gonna come here and like live my whole life, and now I'm leaving today. Like I'm leaving today, and then Submit comes over. Now Submit's brother came and dropped him off and is gonna come pick him back up in an hour. They have allowed him to come say goodbye to Jenny, but the brother has to take Submit back to be sure that he doesn't leave. I'm like, an hour is a good enough time for you to start to leave somebody, but like, I digress. And so he come to the house and they just hugging and kissing and crying to each other or whatever. And it's so hard for us. I'm looking like, what about his wife? Like, what about Submit's wife that's at home somewhere? Her husband is on national television kissing some woman. Okay, I'm like, girl. Anyway, so again, they both say how hard it is, this whole situation, whatever, and I'm like, I guess it is. He tells her how I really, really, really feel bad about this, whatever. I feel bad that I did not tell you before you came here about what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And then, she like said, what would happen when I'm gone? He like, what I'm saying, I would face whatever consequences I'm going to get for what I did. You know what I'm saying? He like, but I want to get out my marriage. And they really sitting there like, oh, if we could just be together, if you just didn't have this wife, girl, you know what I'm saying? And they just sitting there just sad and somber, crying and hugging. And I'm so, yeah, I don't know what to do, whatever. So Jenny says how she still wants to be with him or whatever. And she's sitting up there telling him and hugging on him, saying, I still love you. He was saying, and I don't blame him for what he did. If you can't blame Summit for this situation, who can you blame? Because girl, what's this? Oh, first of all, a notification popped up on my screen. I was scared, like, oh my, it's a spider, but it was not. It was a little picture. Anyway, so y'all don't scare spiders. But yeah, you can't blame no one else, even if Submit's family forced him to be married. We get that. That's on the family. We completely get that. However, it's Submit's fault. Submit is to blame for not telling you. That is his fault. We can't blame him for that. Okay? And so, she brings up how, what I'm saying, if you really want me, if you really want us to be together, and they're hugging at this, they're both hugging and crying at this point, okay? If you really want us to be together, take care of what you need to take care of. Don't just let me go. Try to do something for us and make it okay for us to be together, okay? You have to do that because my heart is going to be ripped out of my chest and people die of broken hearts. I'm like his wife. It's weird because He has a wife, and he didn't tell her. I can't get past that. Point blank to the period, or whatever. So he crying. I mean, like snot face, nose crying. Had to get up and go wipe his face off, crying or whatever. So he comes back and he walks her to the car. And then, you know what I'm saying? Submit looked like he finna risk it all. Okay, he looked like, I am so depressed. I am so defeated. I have nothing else to live for. He really do look like he lost his best friend. Like, he looks horrible. He looks really, 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 really sad. And that's fucked up. But you have a wife. Okay? Anyway, so outside or whatever, he like, it's my fault. It's all my fault. You know what I'm saying? It's my mistake. I did wrong. You know what I'm saying? And then they hug and they kiss. And she gets in the car and she leaves. And then, she brings up how, he made me so happy. He made me so. And I don't want anyone to blame me. I don't want anyone, blame him. It was not his fault. I want everyone to know it's not his fault. You know what I'm saying? I didn't waste my time here. You know what I'm saying? It was the best 6 months of my life. I will love him forever. He can't go against his parents. It's just the culture here. Like, he had no choice or whatever. And I want you to believe. You need to believe that we love each other. And I'm like, we do believe it. No one feels like Submit purposely married somebody just to be a player. I don't know anyone believes that. We all do believe, because the kids, even if you're an adult, have to do what your parents say. And he was forced to marry someone. We get he was forced to do it. The issue comes into play in, he didn't tell you before you came to India. He brought you to his country, had you pack up and leave your whole life. He had you sell all your stuff to come to his country, knowing he cannot marry you. Who has someone come over on a K-1 visa that requires them to get married in 90 days? 90 days? 90 days. Or 90 days for 90 days, Beyonce. Requires them to get married in 90 days when they know they married. And they know to get divorced, the wife has to agree to divorce. And she ain't did it, girl. Look. It ain't got nothing to do with culture. We get that. Submit still lied about it. He purposely did not tell her and brought her there. He could have at least left her in her country while he still, trying to figure out his marriage or whatever. He didn't have to have her move here. Just saying. Anyway, Submit says at the end, he said, you know what? He looks in the camera. He said, you know what? I want to make this clear. Okay? I want to make this clear. I do not want to be with my wife. I don't want to be with my wife. I want to be with Jenny. I want Jenny in my life, and I'm going to take the steps to get her back. I say, well, okay. Again, who knows what's going to happen? And we see for the reunion, she brought up if he doesn't, go on the conference call or whatever, like, I can't, I would never trust him or whatever she said. But, girl, we shall see what happens at the reunion next week. I will report on that as well. Anyway, y'all, that's it. Toodaloo. Peace.